Yo, what's poppin', all my peeps? It is I, your host with the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the Yard Streams for another edition of Pitts and Sarah's Wrestling Show, where we take no nights off. It's not just me, Patty P, here. I'm joined as always by the best of the West. You can't forget about Sarah Marshall. What's poppin', girl?
Hey, yo.
Hello. You could not have said that opening like any more less enthusiastically.
Well, sorry, I'm kind of dealing with some. I was from last night. We're still a little bit under the weather when it comes to mood and excitement.
Like, I'm not here alone. What?
Well,
Marshall,
I'm excited.
What's popping, girl?
All right. Yeah.
Let's get this over with already. God.
It's not. It's the only time I actually get to talk wrestling in my day with people that I care about, because people I don't and do care about.
Oh my God, you care about me?
Like a little bit.
Oh my God.
Just like a little bit though.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's kind of cool. Cool.
Okay.
It's the only time I get to talk about it. So like if I have to suck up the last amount of energy, that I have for the day to sit in front of this computer screen and talk wrestling.
Cleaned camera and all.
We scrub that thing. Like, we're gonna do it. Because one of the few things in life that gives me happiness. So I'm happy you guys can help me enjoy it as well.
Oh yeah.
We got some good things to talk about. Not a lot this week, Sarah. When I was coming up with the rundown for the show, as you know, and the peeps know, I like to have a little bit of a variety, of TNA, AEW. We've had MLW peeps on. Maybe sometimes it's that. But it's WWE heavy this week. Hate to break it to you, but like, they're kind of the top dog for a reason. And the amount of programming, content, PLEs, past shows that they've done this past week, because it is Wednesday, a weird day in itself. Like, they are just dominating the wrestling world. And when it comes to AEW, the only things I really would like to talk about is, like, we're going to talk about it, but, like, let me see what it is specifically. Nothing really, because they don't have anything approaching. Revolution is March 3rd, I'm pretty sure. March 2nd, it's that weekend. So, like, wait, isn't that this weekend? Wait. Wait, time out.
No,
wait.
next. Yeah, what? Yeah, no,
What?
it's March 2nd.
Hold on, AEW.
March 2nd. March 2nd is Sunday.
Yeah, and I think
Elimination Chamber is March 1st.
Yeah, and I think Revolution is this weekend.
The Revolution will
March
be televised.
9th. It's March 9th. That's what it was.
Oh.
I knew it was a single. Oh, eyes. That's a little meow meow.
No, it's a squirrel.
Well, the eyes were giving cat.
It's a squirrel. His name is Marshall. How dare you?
It's like your name. Oh, it's Vinci. Dude, Vinci, tell the peeps, how has free agency been? Who are you talking to?
I can't talk to anybody yet.
Oh, it's the 90 days. I get it. You can't talk during the 90 days. Totally get it. I don't want to step on anyone's toes and getting anyone into legal trouble. Last thing I want is for you to get into some legal trouble, Vinci. So you just stay there looking beautiful and keeping Sara company. All right. That'd be great. I'm gonna keep that going. I don't know where he would go, to be quite honest. He would thrive in TNA.
I hope so. I don't want him to go to AEW.
No, you'd get lost in the shuffle. And actually, I'll bring it up now because it's the only thing newsworthy from AEW this week, at least, is that Speedball Mike Bailey is now signed to AEW. He is someone like a Ricochet, where he's not gonna wow you with his on the mic skills. He's going to wow you in the ring, and he is one of the best wrestlers in the world. With that being said, AEW is where the best wrestle, so you can connect the dots. All right, you can connect the dots. Oh, okay. So let's hear from the
what?
peeps.
You wanted me to say something?
I don't know. Maybe you like Mike
I said
Bailey. I don't know.
TNA. I think
All
you're
right,
to TNA.
but you're just in
Also, that
TNA.
feels like the place that people have gone that were former WWE, and that's where they thrived and then came back. You know?
TNA, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, for the most part, because they're very similar structures.
yeah, you just have to exclude AEW, obviously, because like Cody started that, so it's not like I don't.
Well, there's
count
always going to be an outlier. There's
Mhm.
always going to be an outlier. But
Yeah.
it'll move the needle. Nathaniel, what's popping? Dodgers won in spring training. You were very upset about that yesterday. CM Punk, I would like. That's what I'm saying. Oh, and join the Rock. Yeah, that's what I would like as well. And Becky Cost live at the Chamber. Okay. Just to see Becky back would be cool, but I don't know if costing live at the Chamber makes all the most
Not
sense.
when not when she's already moved on from the women's title.
There's no reason unless Becky's gonna come back with a partner. It doesn't make sense. And even David, what's poppin'? One of the OG peeps. And Sophia remembers when she had braces. Oh, gee, that's tough, Sophia. That is really tough. But good thing you got your braces off. Good job. Yeah, let's just do that thing where we talk about a few of our favorite things.
Don't be a lemon, be a rosebud.
Don't be a lemon, or be a fucking rosebud. All right.
No.
Are we just gonna be a lemon? We're just gonna be let's have a healthy mix of roses and lemons in the garden. Rosebud, lemon, our favorite and least favorite things of the week. Sarah, to stop me with my royal rambling, what do you got for your?
This was kind of hard for me to find, honestly, because I also, try to find stuff that we haven't talked about yet. So, so I would say I came across, I think I saw it on TikTok, Drew McIntyre. I think he probably posted it on Twitter as well. But he made a video to talk about Elimination Chamber. And first of all, did you see the video of him getting his knee drained?
Yeah, I did. It was kind of yucky.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of yucky.
The human body is a strange thing, dude.
Oh, it's incredible.
Like, how are you you're just like vacuuming out fluid from his knee?
Just sucking it out
it's
of his knee.
Nasty, bro.
And then he goes out there
and wrestles.
He didn't wrestle. Yeah, he wrestled.
Yeah, and then loses to Jimmy.
Yeah, because it was SmackDown. I'm still thinking. I don't know why I'm thinking
so
Raw.
Annoying.
Yeah, and then lost in a roll up. Well,
I know. Whatever. Anyway,
the fact is he friggin' went out there and wrestled after having fluid drained from his knee.
But so the thing that he's there talking about Elimination Chamber, hyping up the match and being in it and how he's gonna win, blah blah blah, right? But what I thought was interesting, and I don't feel like people are really talking about this until basically this week when people kind of like realized, nothing's come out of this, was when John Cena was doing the Royal Rumble press conference, and he basically asked the people who would be in the chamber with him to come for him and like put him down, like bury him, do something, because he was just putting himself into the Elimination Chamber match. And nobody has said anything about Cena. None of the people that are in the match have said anything. And so McIntyre is the first one to call him out, essentially, days before the Elimination Chamber. And it feels like such a missed opportunity because people have definitely been mentioning the absence of Cena, because there were people that were disappointed that he, his first match was the Rumble and that we weren't going to see him again until the Elimination Chamber. And it's like, so much for all those dates. That's what people were feeling. So the easiest way to get people to remember that Cena is going to be there, besides the hyping of the matches and the graphics or whatever, would be for Punk to call him out, for Seth Rollins to call him out, Drew to call him out. And it's kind of is interesting that they completely avoided that altogether. Like, I don't know if that was on purpose, because it's like, oh well, he's not here, we don't want to talk about him, or if there's ulterior motives there, because people have discussed the possibility, which I don't think is happening, but of Cena being the Rock's guy with Cody turning him down. So is it like, oh, we don't want to say anything because he's going to end up doing that? I don't know, but I feel like it would have been cool to kind of hear a little bit more trash talk, I think, especially because of him taking that liberty of being like, I'm in the Elimination Chamber and I'm not doing matches to get in there. I'm just in there. Like that. Why wouldn't you call that out?
Yeah, you absolutely should call that out if you're Drew. It makes the most sense. That's what I like about this day, or this hype towards the chamber, is that it feels like it's properly hyped for the people in it.
Mhm.
And John Cena obviously being the untouchable, he's John Cena. You know, he can
Yeah.
just declare, and it's understood. Of course, of all people to make a comment publicly and just themselves, it's Drew McIntyre.
But you know what else? We've talked
What?
about this. The possibility of the Mania match being Drew versus Cena. So that
that would
could
be
also
good.
be why he's the only one who has said anything. Because when we've looked at the Elimination Chamber, we kind of feel like, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen because everything that it's going to be a domino effect based on who wins. So it's like, we don't know what everybody else is going to do. But if you take one person out, no matter what combination you're doing, you can kind of be like, okay, we think we know what's going to happen. Like, if you think Punk's going to win, okay, so that means Punk versus Cody. So that leaves like Seth unaccounted for. Roman is still unaccounted for. Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, all of these people don't have a Mania match. So it makes sense to be like, okay, well, you think maybe Rollins is going to go and face Roman. Maybe Logan is going to go do this, maybe with AJ Styles or something. Maybe, I don't know. But there is that possibility that Drew could face Cena, and that could be the explanation for why he's the only one who have said anything, because they didn't want to tease any sort of potential match with any of the other people, because people do want to see him against CM Punk again. People do want to see him against Seth Rollins. They do want to see like maybe him against Roman Reigns. Maybe they want to see him against Logan Paul. So I don't know. That could be the tactic, but I wish that if that were the case, that they maybe had done it a little bit sooner than Drew kind of just doing it on his own social media.
Yeah, it's interesting. That whole thing was good. My rosebud of the week is NXT as a whole. We have some things from NXT that we're going to talk about on the show, so I'll just name a few. Moose and Lexis King was a banger match, but not only that,
Can I ask if it was a banger from both sides?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, because Lexis King gets dragged like every single week.
He's very good, Sarah. He was very good in this match.
Because I was seeing a lot of people hype up the match and people being like, oh, wow, the crowd is like really into this. And they were like, this is such a great match. And people were shocked because Lexis King was in it. And I haven't watched it yet, but it's like that I had to ask, because I'm like, everybody shits on him every single week. So I'm like, is Moose carrying, or is he actually, is it a split thing?
No, it was like they were very complimentary dance partners. Like Moose showed that he can do things that no man of his size should ever do. He did a springboard cross body, like 2 ropes, and then jumped up and then turned to cross body. Incredible. Lexis King doing just hurricanranas out of nowhere.
And he's a pretty big guy too.
He's not a thin dude, but not fat either, but like he's built. He's a strong dude.
Yeah.
And just the amount of hate that he gets is very evident from his look, and a little bit of the persona and the type of vibe he was giving off, where the dude just wants to be a champ. You know what I mean? He just wants to be the next level of his dad and be better.
Yeah.
I'm here for it, man. Make his own name. That's why he went with Lexis King instead of continuing. That's another name that got changed, Sarah, from AEW to WWE, NXT, whatever, is Brian Pillman Jr. to Lexis King. And there was a reason for it. Sometimes there's reasons for the stuff, and it's for him to build his own legacy.
Well, and I think I'm not saying he's perfect, obviously. Like, he's in NXT and has growth to do. So, there's a reason. But I do think that a lot of the hate for him comes from, like, he comes off kind of douchey because of, like, the heavily manicured and made up beard. And like you said, the way he conducts himself, the way he carries himself. But the thing is I think people don't realize that's his gimmick. Like, he's supposed to be kind of coming off like a douche. Like, he refers to himself as the king. He comes out on a throne. Like, what are we talking about?
It's so good.
And it's like, so people hating on him, it's like, okay, he's doing his job well. But at the same time, the hatred for him, I feel like, goes beyond just hating the wrestling character, Like, it goes and be like, oh, he sucks. Why is he in NXT?
Yeah,
oh my God,
jealous.
This is so bad. And I'm like,
Jealous.
Obviously he has things that he needs to get better at in the ring and on the mic or whatever. But again, he's in NXT for a reason. So like, let him figure it out. He's not like, I hasn't stepped in the ropes ever before, and he's going in there and you're like, shit, I have to watch this.
It's
not like that. So I feel like his hate is kind of unwarranted. But
and the thing is, he's working in, also, let's zoom out a little bit too. He's working with a TNA champion.
Yeah, that's a big
former deal. TNA world champion.
Mm-hmm.
So by that, he's not facing off with main roster guys, but this is the opportunity he's going to get into the ring with big names of a similar stature level. And
Moose would have had to agree to do that too, because if they're going to do a crossover thing, they're not going to bring him in and then have him job out to somebody in NXT, So it's like, there's a reason that they chose him to go against Moose. There's a reason why they paired him with William Regal temporarily. There's a reason why he won the Heritage Cup, So it's like, I don't know. And not everyone's going to like him, but I do think that some of what people say, it's like it's going over their head why they don't like him. It's like, no, he's doing all of this stuff on purpose, guys, because it gets your reaction and you don't even realize it,
I would love to sit down with Alexis King. Yeah, he seems really like good
such a nice guy.
Such a good dude.
From that CVV interview, I was like, oh my God, I love you.
Yeah.
Because he just this is just what he wants to do. Like, and he didn't have a great upbringing. He had a hard life. And that's another thing that people don't realize. Like, it's not just that his dad, died when he was young. It's like, he also didn't have the most stable family at home, and his mother wasn't the most stable and whatever. It's like,
correct.
I don't know. You got to like hand it to him for getting as far as he has with not a lot of guidance. I mean, he didn't have his dad helping him. He lost his dad at a very young age. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. And it's big shoes to fill, Like, it's like, I don't blame them for him for wanting a different name also, because it is like, I want to be my own self. It's the same thing that with Cody Rhodes. Like, obviously he came in and he's like, all right, I'm keeping Cody and I'm going to take my dad's last name from wrestling. But that became like a detriment to him.
Yeah.
It's a big
it did off the bat. It's a big target on your back.
Yes. And so it's like, the way that he dealt with it was trying so hard to like not be his dad and to not look like his dad, to not do anything that represented the Rhodes family at all. And obviously some of that is what led to him eventually wanting to leave. Obviously Stardust was a big thing, but like then when he left and created AEW and like bleached his hair and just embraced the fact that his father is Dusty Rhodes, that's why he's where he is, So I don't know. I think Lexis King is kind of like doing that already, like combining both of them. It's like he's not completely pushing his father away, but it's also not like, here's Lexis King or here's Brian Pillman Jr., the son of Brian Pillman, the blah 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 blah. Like that would be a lot harder to deal with, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was looking at comments here. What's up, Slam Tackle TV? I like that. That's a new person in the chat.
I know. I appreciate you being around for the last couple weeks.
It's nice. We like it. And
CM Puke.
CM Puke's a new one.
That's my kind of guy right there. CM Puke. I mean, CM Junk.
What's made you puke this week?
Well, it was just said that WWE is planning on doing 3 PLEs in Saudi Arabia in 2026. One of which is the Royal Rumble, which we already knew about. And the hope is that they'll do the Royal Rumble, and that's really the main PLE that they'll do. And then the other ones will be like Crown Jewel and what is it, King and Queen of the Ring. That is the hope that that's what it is. And that when they say they're doing 3, that it doesn't mean those 3 plus 2 more, to be like the new 3 is the Rumble and 2 others. And it's just, to me, it's just disappointing just because it's like, you don't have to be a super political person. You don't have to be the most well-versed person, but you know about Saudi Arabia. So, I don't know. It's just kind of disappointing. And even if you want to look past, any political spin or scope or whatever, it's also just disappointing because generally the Saudi crowd is not great. And anytime that I know they're really not.
They're like, okay.
Yeah. And that is something that impacts the way that the viewers at home take in the show. When a crowd is like silent or barely excited about anything, it's like it's hard for you to have a more excited feeling about it watching yourself. So that's disappointing that they're going to have something as big as the Rumble. And then it's like, okay, like I hope they don't do that many returns or something, because if they do, they're not going to be that hyped about it probably. I mean, King and Queen of the Ring, whatever. It's whatever.
That makes sense. I hate to say that, but that's
fine.
That's okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, and Crown Jewel, sure, whatever. I mean, like, again, I don't love that they're doing all these shows in Saudi and that they have so much money invested there, but obviously I can't change that. But yeah, I'm just hoping that they're not going to just keep adding more shows every single year, because as a fan that watches predominantly at home, it's just not fun to watch a show in that country when the audience is like that kind of mediocre usually.
It's a mediocre crowd because of what they root for. It's very old school to me. Like it feels very, this is the good guy. This is the main, this is who we should be rooting for. The bad guys, they boo, but it's nothing that's out of the ordinary,
Yeah.
Like,
well, it feels like also when you compare them to so many of the other international crowds, they're bottom tier. And granted, in recent years, especially, they've gone to Saudi a lot more than they've gone and done PLEs or live shows in other countries. So that is going to make them a little bit more jaded than, Paris and whatever.
Oh,
but
yeah. What was Paris?
It was France and like Puerto Rico. Like they were
killer. Those are the two. Those are top 2 right now.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like, but even then, it just feels like they don't care, and it's crazy because they have a huge stadium in Riyadh, and they it's like you would never know that there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people there, because it's just like usually it's like you don't remember the crowd for anything, and that's, I don't know, you want the crowd to elevate the show, especially when you're watching at home. And so it's just disappointing when a lot of people's favorite PLE is the Royal Rumble outside of Mania, and that they're getting it, and it's kind of like you're gonna kind of go into it feeling like, oh,
I hate to say it, but we are going to see a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
I think that's it's a terrible decision, though. People will not go there. They will not go there.
But their people will.
I know, but like you're really limiting your audience and your profit by doing that. But
see, my thing is nothing. My biggest issue, like the fans thing, is one thing, but my biggest issue with this being the time difference.
Yeah,
the time difference. I have such a new respect for all of the YouTube channels that I watched growing up as a wrestling fan, like What Culture, then turning into Cultaholic, and then other branches off of that. Doesn't matter. I have such an appreciation for those guys now because of what time they had to get up to watch it. What time they had to stay up till to watch it. It was prime time for us. It's an American product. But for
Yeah.
them, it just shows that dedication. And I get it. I empathize. Like, thank you for your hard work. But now I'm gonna be selfish and a little kid and be like, no, why can't you have it at normal times? Like WrestleMania at 1 in the afternoon makes 0 sense to me.
Yeah.
All right.
WrestleMania at 10 a.m.
That is so, I don't like that.
Yeah.
That throws my mental.
Yeah, I think it's like,
mental
it's just
state.
because of that. Like,
Oh.
if it were in London, fine. That's fine. Somewhere in Europe or whatever, that's
Yeah.
fine. It's like if they did a WrestleMania in Australia. It's like, F my life. They're literally 17 hours ahead. Why would I, like, I don't
See,
know.
I would be pissed in the same way, but I'd be like, okay.
Yeah,
Like
well, there's a
Australia
diff.
deserve. But
Well,
I'd be
yeah.
real pissed. I'd be real pissed about having to wake up at 8 a.m. and be like into WrestleMania. Pre-show starting at 4 a.m. Starting the pre-show when I get up for work.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so maybe those are ones. Maybe that's why I gotta get my passport, so we can go to those. All right, my lemon of the week. The only one I can think of at the moment is
Fickle. They're fickle.
all of you fickle fucking fans out there in the IWC. I'm over it. I'm really sick of opening X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and just tweets upon tweets contradicting a certain storyline that's going on. People loving the Jey Uso thing, people hating it.
Shout out to the day one haters.
I'm not see that's just the easy one that's low hanging fruit, but there's so many others that if you like jog my memory, like the Death Rider thing being one. I hate like people saying that they hate that and whatnot. There's just other shit that I just cannot stand when I open that app, and it's just constant, just brain rot, and it's you fickle fans not being able to have patience in a story. You want long-term storytelling, but you don't have the patience for a payoff. That's why I'm getting so upset with what you're watching is because there's no instant payoff like last year. That's the other a little spin-off to that is that this year's Road to WrestleMania is not last year's. I hate to break it to you. We are probably not going to see that type of build for a WrestleMania for another 40 years. That was unprecedented, unlike anything we've ever seen before. And the payoff of the main event is equally up there as well. This year, it is good. It's still fine. It's better than most years. As someone, not even as someone, as a duo who has sat through multiple years of just meh build up for WrestleManias and the WrestleManias being as awful as they were. This is so much better. You just have to have the patience and understanding to realize that you're going to have to wait a week or two or few or many to get that payoff.
Well, I was just reading you the SummerSlam cards that
Oh my God, Sarah.
They're horrific.
They're horrific. That's part of you'll see if in the banners that's part of the 1, 2, 3 count. Because I had so much fun doing that, because of what I'm saying is that it could be so much worse.
I think sometimes it's like, because I'm not exactly thrilled with everything that's going on right now too in the Mania buildup. I think some of it is just it's like you want to embrace the unpredictability or the storylines continuing and not really coming to an end yet. But I think some of it is also that you just kind of want to know what you're looking forward to. Like you want to know specifically what is going to be happening, so you already know. But I think some of it is like people don't like not knowing something. It's like not the fear of the unknown, but kind of. It's like the same feeling that everybody looks forward to WrestleMania, and when you feel like, okay, I'm getting impatient, like I just want to know what is going to be on the card. I want to know what I'm supposed to be excited for. That impatience is kind of what comes out from people.
The impatience is brutal. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I'm not no, I'm not going to say that. I'm pretty patient. And especially when it comes to this stuff, you can tell, I'll leave with this, is that you can tell who is strictly a wrestling or WWE fan and does not watch other forms of entertainment like television shows on Netflix or Peacock or whatnot, because the lack of ability to follow a story, and sometimes in wrestling, seasons are like it's the same thing as seasons in a television show, but it's just in a different time. You have to see that. Yeah, and final boss, the IWC likes the fantasy book too much. Then they get pissed when the WWE doesn't do what they want. Yeah, they don't. It's not your universe mode, pal. That's why they have 2K.
Well, and that's
just
kind
go grab
of
that.
What the Undertaker was saying when we talked about that last week, and I said to a degree he was right, and to another degree he was wrong, because he was saying like the fans are wrong in thinking that they dictate the show. No, it's not true. Like as far as fantasy booking, yeah, you're right. That they can't just fantasy book and then be like, okay, well that's what's happening. But we also can't pretend like the reaction from the fans in person and online doesn't actually help form what we see on the programs every week.
Yeah, exactly. Let's hear some comments here.
A lot of comments.
Love it. Someone had their own, I forget if it was a rosebud or lemon, and because we're technically on that, I want to give them the time. I want the other peeps to know what they're David, lemon of the week is that The Rock will be involved in the Elimination Chamber. I don't know if it'll be. I don't know.
I think it almost depends on how they go about Cody's answer.
Cody's answer. That's another thing that we can.
Because when is that going to happen? Is it going to be at the start of the show? Is it going to be in the middle of the show? Is it going to be for the Elimination Chamber match? Is it going to be after the Elimination Chamber match? Because like having it afterwards is kind of interesting.
No, you can't.
No, but you know why it would be interesting? Because it depends on who wins. Because depending on who wins, that could dictate Cody's answer. Or, as you know, Cody could, if he says no, assuming that he says no, then obviously what happens in the chamber is going to be because of him saying no. So I feel like there's pros and cons to both, but it feels like he'll probably say it before. I don't know, but I feel like that will really.
Could you imagine if Cody? I'll save it. I think
Cody's saying no, but
I mean, yeah, I think, but I want to save it. Question: when did you first start doing No Nights Off podcast? 3 years ago, I think.
I think I think we started uploading on YouTube 2 years ago. And then we had been doing it for a while in just a podcast form before that.
Yeah, because what was 30? Because 39, we had the show. We definitely had it. I remember.
Yeah, but I think we started. I don't know. Let me see what I would have to look at YouTube to see when we first uploaded.
Because I remember we were doing a little bit after WrestleMania 38 when Vinnie Mac was still in charge. And a funny story for the peeps. It was like our second podcast episode that we did with this. It was a story about you, like being in the same elevator with Vince McMahon, and you saying how he was very like kind, respectful, all that stuff. And then the day after I posted it was the Janelle Grant. So
yeah.
Like, okay.
So, I know, bad timing.
Whoa.
So the first video that I posted was January 4th, 2023. The oldest live stream. Oh my God, why do I still have Patriots live streams on here? I need to hide those.
Wow. Oh yeah, because you're doing I remember that.
Yeah, because this was my
YouTube channel.
Yeah, it used to be my Patriots channel. This one is from first started uploading on YouTube.
I didn't hear any of that because it went.
Oh my god, your hair is so long in this video. That is so funny.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I did have long hair for a while.
Yes.
We cut it off.
But anyway, so it's been 2 years on YouTube, and then probably like a year before that we were, or
we
probably a year before that we were podcasting. So
trash by. We had to come up with a new name because we watched wrestling, got real pissed.
Yeah.
Real pissed. Lord Pitts. I like Lord Pitts.
Lady Sara. Yeah.
I love Lord Pitts. That's also, just right when we need to boost the ego. What's up, Teagle?
Aaron Teagle. Final Boss. Did you already say hi? Final Boss? I don't remember.
I think we did. I've showed his comments here.
Okay. So yeah, want to get into our predictions?
Let's get into our predictions.
What?
And I just read a comment that was very funny. Let's get into our Elimination Chamber predictions. Elimination Chamber this Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Sara time.
Nope, 5 p.m. my time. 4 p.m. Pacific, but 5 p.m. my time.
Off, Pitts.
Just for another week. And then
yeah, because daylight savings time, which you guys do it right.
Yeah, we don't do it.
You don't do it.
Yeah.
It's stupidest thing ever.
Yeah, well, for us, it's because we have so much sun. We don't need more. So the days don't need to be longer. That's why we don't do it.
I can't wait to pack just shorts when I'm out there. Like, am I going to need at least like a pair of sweatpants?
I mean,
like, how cold does it get?
At that point, probably not really. I mean, I always bring that kind of stuff just in case. Anyway.
Okay, I'll bring like a pair of sweatpants and
bring like a hoodie, but nothing like a zip up hoodie or something, but nothing like too thick. I'll tell you, like,
don't bring the CM Punk one.
No, that'll be too warm.
That's thick, yeah.
And we're gonna be inside for Mania if we go.
That's true.
And all the arenas are inside, so it's not going to. Yeah, it's just if we're out and like going out to eat or whatever, that'll be like when it's warm,
Mm-hmm. So excited. So freaking excited. See any of the peeps there. Love to do some interviews. Also, we will meet Stash Club and challenge them to a wrestling quiz. We will win. I want to win. Sara, I want to
play the NWO theme song and see if they can finally identify it.
Name 5 members of the NWO.
Yeah.
Not the original 3.
Recite the first line of Scott Hall when he burst into WCW.
You know who I am.
You people. You know who I am.
Oh, my bad. See, that's why you are. I know who that is.
I'm here.
That's hottest free agent. Giovanni
Hell
Vinci.
yeah. Yes, boy.
See, those guys I want to see as tag team.
Yes, boy.
Listen, you two. I want to see you two as champions when Sara and I leave Vegas. All right. Can we do that?
I hope so.
I would like to see that. Let's make it happen. Let's make it fucking happen.
You know who else?
Who else do you have? Oh, is it the other guy? You're not leaving. I hate to break it to you, pal. You're not leaving Vegas with a championship. I know. It sucks, but like, the yeet is in.
He said if he could chop you right now, he would. Just
you know what? My chest probably deserves it.
Yeah, he wants to kill your chest right now.
All right, let's talk about the men's elimination chamber and who we believe will be leaving the elimination chamber, punching their ticket to WrestleMania. We have Logan Paul, John Cena, Seth Rollins. I'm going to get it right. Seth Rollins. Did I say CM Punk already? No. Drew McIntyre. And did I say Damian Priest? And Damian Priest. Those 6.
I know who's not winning.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest is not winning the elimination chamber. I'll tell you that right now. I love you, buddy, but you are not winning the elimination chamber.
Yeah, he's not winning.
No, unfortunately. My guts tell me CM Punk.
This is the thing that's so hard. So, like, before The Rock's thing from SmackDown and forcing Cody to make this decision, I have been saying Punk for weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's still like a really big option for me because it can still happen even if The Rock is involved, because you can involve Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, whatever. So like it's still a possibility. I just don't love it as much as other possibilities. But the only other person that I could see that would make sense is Drew McIntyre. I don't think John Cena is winning the Elimination Chamber.
You think Drew McIntyre? Oh, because the Cody pot. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good.
The only thing is hasn't he already won 2 Elimination Chambers?
He's won 2 Elimination Chambers.
That's something he mentioned in his promo to John Cena online, is that Cena's won 3 and he would be able to tie him if he wins a 3rd. So, but then that's the thing, is because of that, then it's like, are they teasing Drew versus Cena? So does that mean Drew's not winning? I don't know. It's hard because Cody's decision, as we've said, is going to dictate everything. And how The Rock deals with whatever that is, assuming it's going to be a no, is going to dictate everything. And I don't love this pairing of The Rock and Punk simply just because of their history. And I'm like, I don't know, are they going to be able to like move past that, at least publicly? Or is Punk on board with being like a full-blown heel?
Yeah,
that's the part that I'm like struggling. It would
spice up his character right now. It really would.
And
he's too similar to Cody with the fans.
I know, and
they're gonna change his name regardless. That's the thing. He could lean to the skid of hating how the fans chant his name and don't really love him because they're all Cody crybabies.
Yeah, so it's hard because I like Logan's not winning. Damian Priest is not winning. I really don't see John Cena winning. I feel. I don't know. I don't see them doing Cody versus Cena right now. I don't think that Cena's going to get involved in the Rock stuff because I don't think that really makes any sense. And that feels too big of a story for Cena to get involved in and then not be there on a weekly basis. Especially when the Rock's not going to be there on a weekly basis either. So that feels kind of silly. Seth Rollins winning.
No, I see Roman.
I kind of enjoy that too, but that also would be then aligning himself with Roman. But also at the same time, it could be going against Roman because we haven't seen anything with The Rock and Roman since Mania. I don't know. I think I'm just going with Punk. I'm going to go with Punk.
You're going with Punk?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Punk, and I'm going to assume that maybe The Rock does not find an alternate for Cody, and that maybe he does something different to punish Cody. Something that Bully Ray talked about was The Rock burning Cody's contract to WWE.
The Rock what?
Burning his contract. Like burning Cody's contract. And that's like his way of like punishing him for not, because he's like the head of TKO and whatever.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not saying that's the way
it
would be evil. I don't know if that's something that they'll do, but I'm saying it seems like, okay, so there is a possibility that it can be something different than just trying to find somebody to be his champion instead, you know?
It's Slam Tackle TV saying he heard rumors that WWE are pushing Drew McIntyre in 2025. And if that's true, this is the biggest and best way to do that because you're not going to get anything better this year than Drew.
I know. Well, I don't. And that's the thing. They have last year to top with Drew because
that was year.
It really wasn't. I don't think people are talking about it enough. And I think part of it is because he was against Punk. And so people are so enthralled with, oh my God, CM Punk is back in WWE that they kind of are overlooking Drew. And I think also because he was doing so much good work last year that people kind of took it for granted. They just expected it from him every single week. Kind of like his matches are almost always good that you don't really get super excited about it anymore, or most people don't, because you expect it. Same thing like with Gunther. You expect him to put on a good match. So it's not as like flashy as somebody else that has a really great match. So that's the thing is like Drew makes sense for this. He does because of his connection.
I think
to
you're
The Rock.
talking yourself into this.
I picked Punk, but no, I do. We talked about how Drew makes sense because only one person checked in on me, and The Rock was behind getting him a contract extension, and
Correct.
he was just moved to SmackDown, so like he can be the WWE champion.
That's the Rock show, Sarah.
And Drew will be there every week to go against Cody, and Drew is already a heel, so it wouldn't be like a huge transition to make him that bad guy. That's the thing. Is like that's the part that I only question about Punk. That's the thing. Is like I don't know if Punk is wanting to be a bad guy or to go to that level of being a bad guy at this point in his career. I don't know. But I'm still picking him. I'll still pick him.
Could you imagine? I'm just picturing a Claymore to John Cena's head, or something.
I'm gonna have to give you guys feedback because my sister should be here because you guys know Drew McIntyre makes my sister emotional. So depending on what happens, if something happens like that with Drew and Drew becomes champion, oh my God, I'm gonna have to keep you guys informed about her mental state.
I think we need some camera footage there.
Definitely she would kill me if I did that. I couldn't do that. I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, so I couldn't do that.
I am the world's guinea pig, so you can film me whenever you want. Women's Elimination Chamber match. We got it is
Bianca
Belair, Naomi,
Liv Morgan, Roxanne Perez,
Bailey. One more.
Is it Candice?
No,
not Candice LeRae.
No, because she's facing Tiffy and Tiffy.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Who's the sixth?
Oh, I have it right here. It is Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair,
I knew it was another blonde.
Bailey, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez.
Yeah. I'm still in on Bianca. I think they kind of set that up. Yeah, I think they set that up with her losing the tag titles. I think that they want to get her back in the singles title picture. So it makes the most sense. I think out of all of the options, she makes the most sense. They're not picking Roxanne. They're not picking Alexa, in my opinion, to go against Rhea Ripley at this point. They're not picking Liv Morgan, who just became tag champion, and they've already done that with Rhea. Like Bailey, I don't see that.
Bailey, they're doing a program with her and Roxanne.
Yeah, like I don't see it with the others. I think that it's going to be Bianca.
Bianca makes sense. You need a headliner match for the women.
Mm-hmm.
Bianca and Rhea does that.
Yeah.
It's the match that everyone has been wanting to see. And they are the two top women in the division right now.
Well, and that I think that kind of is like an equal match to Tiffany versus Charlotte. So it's like if they're trying to put together some top tier women's matches, I don't know how much bigger you can get than those two.
No, you can't. And it just makes the most sense for Mania. Where so I that's all I got. It's too clear. It doesn't need it. It's Rhea or a Bianca, or Rhea and Bianca at WrestleMania is going to happen. From this match, do we see any like sub stories, like Alexa doing something maybe?
And I see people talking about Jade in the chat, and like that's why Bianca won't win. I would see something more of like Jade maybe doing something at Mania.
Oh no, absolutely.
I think that's the move. Because like Jade's not going to be on the card this year. If it's not going to be her versus Bianca, then she's not on the card this year.
No.
Because it would be too forced. So if it's not going to be that she comes back and then it's and reveals that it was Bianca that attacked her or something, then I think that she's going to come back and it's through her actions at Mania to, cost Bianca the match or something like that. That will start that story.
Yeah, you need to have Bianca and Rhea get built up organically, like an old school type of championship fight, Titans clashing, all that stuff, and Jade be a wrench in that, thinking that Jade's going to help Bianca and doesn't inevitably, everyone's like, well, why didn't she help her? All this, blah, blah, blah. And it's the underlying reason that Bianca was the one.
Well, and
who
I think
attacked
that people are also forgetting that breaking into the Elimination Chamber to interfere in a match is not easy.
It's not like it's not Hell in a Cell. It's not a steel cage. All right, it is a structure unlike anything we've ever seen.
Like the only time we've seen in recent history with the Elimination Chamber,
correct,
it was like towards the end or after the match was over when the cage is like being raised or like whatever, or they're coming.
Do you remember last year or 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was when Logan interfered with Seth.
Well, and didn't AJ Styles do it too?
Yeah, and you know what the trick is? It's one of the when elimination happens.
Yeah.
They have to get out of you have to let them out of the chamber.
Yeah.
So that's when
I think
a little sneaky.
Yeah, it's just I feel like it's not as what's the word I'm looking for? Effective in that way, because it's like, oh, they're running out, but you don't really know why until they get in the ring, but they have to like kind of sneak and jump. I don't know. It's not as great. I don't know. But we'll see.
We shall see. Yeah, we both got Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna write our predictions here and take a picture so that we have it.
I told a coworker who got back into wrestling this year. I told him a couple matches to watch, and he just watched the Trish versus Becky in a cage match, and he was like, "Oh my god, that was unreal!" And I'm like, "I know." You're welcome. So that's exciting.
That's very
good. The next one he's watching is the triple threat between Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, and Gunther.
Oh, I mean
he's about
potential
to watch
match of the year. That
no, I know
that was up there for match of the year. Oh, Hangman is kicking off. You know what? We're gonna pause that. People in the chat, we are not going to be tweeting Dynamite after this because we're going back and watching it live. I can't just watch Hangman in the background. That's my Rosebud calling it back is Hangman MJF feud heading into Revolution. I'll talk about it more next week when WWE isn't in my face.
Yeah, well, and NXT being so
and NXT is as good as it was. Like, sorry, WWE is taking over this week. They fucking crushed it. AEW will come next week when they're building up their last few shows last few shows because I'll count Collision on Saturday. Building up to Revolution. Yeah. We'll talk. I'll talk all about Hangman and MJF then. But for now, let's get rid of that. And let's talk about the matches first. We'll save Cody Rock. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. It's not official. It's unsanctioned, Sarah.
Yeah. This one I think is it's so tricky because I don't know. Like this one's hard because there's just so many ways that this can go. And I think that if this were a match that didn't feel like it was going to have an interference, then it might be easy. It might be like a little bit easier to come up with like, oh, this is how it should go, or this is what should happen. It kind of feels like Sammy is going to win simply because of Randy Orton interference, in my opinion, because I feel like we're going to see Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton at Mania. And the easiest way for them to make that happen is by Randy Orton returning and screwing Kevin out of this kind of match, because then Randy can sympathize with Sammy over Kevin trying to end his career. That's basically what he did to Randy. So Randy can come in and be like, no, I'm not letting you do this again. And I want to end your career, Kevin, So that is like, it's like cool. Cause we love Randy, but yeah, it would be kind of cool if that wasn't a factor.
I'll be the other side of the coin. I got KO for a very similar reason, but different. Someone is going to interfere in this match.
Not Randy?
No.
Who?
It's our Lord and Savior, Karrion Kross.
Interesting.
He's going to come in and interfere
right.
with Sammy. Sammy's going to want to do something, but Sammy's going to have that change of heart. That feeling. He's going to that nostalgia going to hit. I say the graduation glasses, where you remember the good times that you had with your best friend. And Karrion Kross is going to be lurking like he always does, and he's going to slither in and punish Sammy for not pulling the trigger and not giving into the darkness. And when he does not do that, and Karrion Kross has to take him out, KO's going to get the win, and Karrion Kross, Sami Zayn will face off at WrestleMania.
So then how does Randy get involved, though? Like
next week on SmackDown, Kevin Owens talks about how he buried his own best friend. Look what I did to him for getting into my business, yada, yada, yada. I have voices in my head. Hits, and then Randy KO do the grab the head and hockey fight, and then boom, you got your Mania match, and not one word was said to make it official.
Interesting. All right, well, this might be our first difference then.
That's fine. I like it. It's a healthy difference. It doesn't feel like we're saying things just to be different. I like that. I'm a big fan of my thought. Big fan of Tiffy and Trishy.
I know, I love that.
They're taking. I do like that. It flows off the tongue. They're taking on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Shout out to Candice LeRae for retaining the Speed Championship today against Zoe Stark. I got Tiffy and Trishy.
This one is the one that like makes me a little bit nervous because my initial thought is like it has to be Tiffany and Trish because Trish isn't going to come back just to lose in a match like this. That really doesn't mean anything,
Yeah.
And Nia and Candice don't really lose anything by losing. But my concern is Tiffany winning at Elimination Chamber. Does that mean she loses at Mania? She can't.
No, to me, this seems like a hometown girl winning.
Yeah, and it just like I said, it's like this is not a match that means anything. Oh. And so it can't, just because I think if we were talking about the Vince McMahon era, yes, that's what it would mean. It would mean that Tiffany winning at Elimination Chamber, that she was losing at Mania. That's a law of the recipe that he followed. But she can't lose at Mania. So I feel like you have to go with Tiff and Trish. But if I would say the only reason that they might lose is if Nia and Candice do something stupid where it just like ends in a random DQ or something. You know what I mean? Like that would be the only way that I could see them really like legitimately losing this match. But
yeah, or a Trish turn on Tiffany.
I don't
and
think so.
Trish aligning herself with Charlotte. Like that's a reach to me. Reach.
That would make me feel more confident about Tiffany going up against her at Mania, though, because then that feels like she's winning. Tiffany's winning at Mania. You know?
I'm changing my answer.
Oh, Lord, what's going on?
I like that. I'm taking Nia and Candice because I want to put that into the universe. I like that. I just talked myself into that. Because could you imagine Trish Stratus and Charlotte Flair as a duo? How they would be what's the word I'm looking for? They would be like so much heat. Easy way to put it.
Yeah.
Trish is not going to be able to take the pin.
Sorry, my boss just got by a fake wrestling tweet, and I'm so mad. It was a fake Wrestle Votes.
I get tricked by those too.
It says there are rumors that Jey Uso versus Gunther at WrestleMania 41 is being considered for a booking style similar to Cena versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam 2014, with Gunther potentially retaining and squashing Jey. So he was like, Sarah. And then he was like, damn it, I got. And I was like, I fucking hate you.
It's the worst because they switched the letters. Yeah, watch out for
Wessel. It's Wessel Votes.
Yeah, you guys got to watch out for that. Okay. I get got sometimes, and I've had to learn that you have to, with a keen eye, look at who tweeted it. You think wrestle spelled fine because it makes sense? No. It's missing a letter.
I just got so excited for a second, and he just did that to
I know
me
you did.
while we're
I know you
live
did.
streaming.
I know. So fucking rude, huh? Just so terrible. All right. Well, you know what else is rude? The Rock asking for Cody Rhodes' soul. I don't think there's anything.
I don't think
more
that's rude. I think it's weird. Like, imagine going up to somebody and being like, "I don't want you. I want your soul." I'd be
I
like,
want your soul.
"Are we in a horror movie right now? What's
Did
going
we just
on?
become best friends? I don't.
What are you doing? What are you talking about? Is this your way of flirting?
Holy
Like,
shit! Could you
talk
imagine?
dirty to me, guy.
Take her to dinner first.
Let me give you my soul.
Let me give you your soul real quick. I don't think he does. I don't think he
so
does.
either.
I just
This feel
no.
because this is the thing. I'm not saying that Cody is modern day John Cena. I'm not even saying he's prime John Cena. However, I do feel like they've gone about the past 2 years, 3 years, with him, making him to be that guy at some point. So it's really, I'm not saying that he'll never turn heel, because I think we're living in an era now where the fans do tend to turn on people a lot easier or a lot quicker. And so if that does start to happen with Cody, they might lean into that. Whereas they didn't do that with Cena, obviously.
No.
I think things were a little bit different with Cena, though, because it wasn't everybody that hated Cena, you know, like that never happened. There was, and I think, you know, it becomes trendy to start cheering certain things, even if you don't mean it. Like, people are yeeting, but they don't really care about yeeting. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody's excited. It's just everybody's doing it. So I want to do it too, you know? But it's hard for me to imagine them turning Cody heel right now. And then they like don't have a replacement for him as like that guy in the company, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I agree. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I would like, you know, it would be nice to see a heel version of Cody Rhodes, but let's not try to fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, and there are other avenues for, there's other avenues for The Rock to have a puppet champion. And it is what I kind of alluded to on our last show, was that The Rock or Cody Rhodes needs a villain like The Rock final boss right now, because when you look at everyone on the roster, who the hell is a challenger, a legit challenger to Cody Rhodes' title? And it's really no one, unless they have the final boss in their pocket.
Yeah, and that's why it's like that's why it's so hard for me to pick against Drew.
Don't worry, I wrote Drew
in general
in little letters. I wrote Drew in little letters for you. I know you want to pick Drew.
And that's because, like, well, I'm not gonna say I want it to be Punk. You know what I mean? But I'm just thinking, like, for the possible scenarios, like whether he is the Rock's guy or not, it feels like it's Drew, because Drew is the heel in the group of people that you think could win. And I think if we're thinking about who is the most ready or the most deserving of dethroning Cody, it's hard to argue that that Drew can't be considered at all, you know? And it would be easier making him the champion at some point, if not at Mania, than Punk. I don't know that we were talking about Netflix and who they want on Raw. Are they really going to be okay with giving up Punk?
That's true.
It would have to be like, okay, he goes to SmackDown, does this thing with Cody, and then Cody moves to Raw. They would have to do some sort of swap.
Or Roman goes to Raw.
I doubt that, though. Well, let's be real. Roman never shows up. Netflix probably does not give a right now until he like commits to being there more often. Because like he's never there. So it's not really a benefit to you. You know?
No, it's not.
So I think regardless, Cody says no.
Okay.
You agree though?
I do. Yeah. No, 100%. Agree.
Okay.
Yeah. I wrote no soul here. So yeah, for both of us. So yeah, I don't think he does. I think we see someone in the chamber become the Rock's puppet. Little lightning round here. Topic, Sarah, to get us to the 1, 2, 3 count. PW Insider is saying how Julia might be dealing with an injury issue. I have not seen Fightful comment on this yet, so that's why I wrote PW Insider instead of Fightful, and I warn you to be cautious of this news. We don't know. To me, it just seems a little eerie on time or timing. I mean, eerie timing with the title for title coming up in a few weeks. Julia versus Stephanie Vancouver. So
that's going to happen before Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, it's roadblock at Madison Square Garden, which
that sucks, man.
So I don't know. It is a little.
I guess it depends on how severe it is too, because remember how injured Seth was when he was World Heavyweight Champion? They just kept him. They didn't have him have another match basically between the Rumble and Mania. There really wasn't I don't think he did a whole lot between that time.
Did he fight Jinder Mahal?
Huh? He might have. I don't know, but what I'm saying
is like Jinder Mahal during that time period.
His action was very limited. I think he did fight Jinder Mahal, but that was like after he was okay, but we knew that he wasn't. So I would assume that if Julia isn't dealing with something that's super severe, they can just make her not really wrestle that much for the next few weeks and then hope that maybe that will be okay. Because I don't think they're going to make any sort of rush decision on taking the title off of her if they don't have to, because obviously it doesn't do them any favors by not having her at WrestleMania week to compete. So, I mean, the good thing is, if their plan all along was to have her versus Stephanie at Stand and Deliver in general, like that's been the plan no matter what, they couldn't have picked a better person to be the double champion for if they need be because of Julia's injury, so that sucks. The timing, injuries suck all the time, obviously, but it sucks so bad when it's this kind of timing.
I know it does suck, especially when we build up to Mania. This is the biggest show of the year.
Yeah,
you want all your biggest stars out there. To me, Julia will be out there in some way, shape, or form. I'm just throwing it out there. It's a little too coincidental that this news is being talked about right now, and last night was announced that'll be title for title. So
I mean,
Sarah, can you?
He hasn't asked yet.
That's true. He didn't ask. You don't want to just give someone your soul if they didn't ask. That's kind of.
Would Jay be the Cody face replacement? It's not the same.
No, I like where your head's at, but no, it's not.
I mean, as far as like being super over, he definitely is kind of like the Cody equivalent on Raw, I would say.
No, he is 100%.
But like being the face of the company and doing all the interviews and all the promotions and like all the charity work and stuff like that, it's not the same. It feels like that is such a specific person. And it feels like what they're trying to do, at least with the WWE champion, like that, they're trying to make that person be that guy, because Gunther's not doing it. Although Gunther was just on opening cards, like, and chilling with the fans, you know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, awesome. I don't know, but I'm so mad that we can't find any of those cards.
I know. I want to do a box opening so bad.
So the one thing is you can check your local Walmart, call them, and your local GameStop. That's what I've been hearing people say.
Really? Yes. It's only Walmart, not Target?
I don't think so.
Let me text.
You can see, but from what I'm hearing, it's like Walmart and GameStop. But some people are saying that GameStop had them like in a drawer behind the desk, so they're not just like out.
So you have to ask. It's one of those items where you have to ask.
This is what I saw a couple people saying. Awesome. But like online, you can't find them. Like the $30 boxes that come with like 6 packs or whatever, they're sold out. Like it's just, you can't find them anywhere. So it's unfortunate. You can try and find them for like $1,000 on eBay, but not
All right. I'll go through these quick because we are getting low on. We might even get to the 1, 2, 3
We need the
count.
clips though, remember? So
We need the clips. So you know what? We're gonna power through. Ricky Saints wins his first match in NXT. Hit the pose. Hit the pose. Fast. The revolution is televised.
So he got Def Rebelled. The song.
You know what it was? You know what it is? He didn't get Def Rebelled. It was AEW. It was like a copyright free AEW song. That's what it was.
No, but you hold on. You'll know what I'm saying. His music is not bad. It fits when he goes on the on the turnbuckle and he gets to do his thing. Cool. Yeah. He got Def Rebelled because of the fucking words at the beginning. That's like the sign of a Def Rebel song. Let's not forget. AJ Styles, when they changed his music, he was like, I am phenomenal, or you don't want none. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Why'd you do that? Then remember, they even have it in Bailey where it's like, role model. And I'm like, Tiffany, it's Tiffy time. Why? Like, why? I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate that. And I don't hate like Pretty Deadly where it's like, yes, boy. Like, I don't hate it, but I'm saying it's like, that is like,
you're following a trend.
That's what they do. And a lot of the time it's just not necessary. But and I'm not saying I hate it for Ricky necessarily, but I think other than that just being something they feel very comfortable with doing, it feels like their way of being like, yeah, we know the music isn't very identifiable, but if we have them talking at the beginning, you can't say you don't know who it is. And
he had words spoken in his AEW theme song, and it was fine. Like, and it was fine at work. Dickie Starks is the GOAT, baby. Dickie Starks, the GOAT. It was fine at work. The issue that I have with it is that it sounds like WWE try to put his last theme song through their own machine, and it sounds might be WWE.
That's what he wanted, though.
It's fine. Yeah, that's what it works. I don't hate it. You know, for who he is, it gives off who he is. But I wish it was a little bit better.
That's it. I think that. Yeah, it's fine. It sounds somewhat generic, but I mean, at this point, that's kind of what all of WWE's music sounds like because of Def Rebel and because they don't want to like get the licenses and whatever to actually get like real songs. But yeah, I kind of want to hear the end of the, the revolution is saliva. I don't need that. Just play his music. Have him standing out there. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather that. But whatever. Also, I was gonna cut the Dickie Starks part from our clip and like make it into its own clip. I just wasn't sure if anyone would actually think it was funny, like if I posted it.
Dickie Starks is kind of funny.
I was laughing at myself, and because I think I'm hilarious, but I was like, I don't know if anyone will actually think that's funny enough for me to post it, so maybe I'll just keep it.
Nah, the internet's a weird place. The IWC is a crazy place.
Yeah, but then I'm like, what if people start being like, what is wrong with her? You know?
So would you rather be like, oh my god, you're so silly compared to the hate you get now? Just saying.
Well, I'd rather people be like, you're an idiot than like,
I'd rather.
Yeah, compared to what people say.
They're rude, Sarah.
They're really mean. Rude. They're really mean. Oh my god, Nathaniel, thank you.
They keep doing this.
LMAO. Is she good? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. They'd be like, are you okay? No. And then I'm like, you know what? It's funny, okay? Like, inappropriate jokes are funny. Saying dick is funny. Dickie Starks. Big Dick Starks. His dick isn't the only thing that's big. I don't know. You know?
Let it out.
It's not just his name. I don't know. It was because I was cutting that out of the clip of us talking about it because I was like, it would have been at the end of the clip. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to make this in its own clip. And then I was like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't.
Nah. Let it out. Let the people know.
I appreciate you guys. Dylan, Trainer Red, and Slam Tackle TV. Thank you. Oh, and Nathaniel. I appreciate you guys. You make me feel better because I like to pretend that I'm funny. I just don't get a reaction that often from people, except myself. I laugh at myself. I'm my best friend and my biggest hater. So,
moving on.
okay.
Moving on to Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, that's what you were doing. Okay.
Yes. What? That is.
I didn't
That was
know.
the point of me juking. I was doing this.
Okay.
To
I
try
didn't
to signal
know. Maybe you were having a spasm. I don't
No,
know.
this is Captain Nonsense logic we're talking about. So
Got it.
the Hardys return to WWE, making their debut in NXT, taking on the No Quarter Catch crew in what was a great match. I found it very entertaining. It highlighted the No Quarter Catch crew for Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights.
I hate that name still though.
Miles Bourne.
No Quarter Catch crew.
No Quarter Catch crew.
It's too much.
They're good though.
It's like Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
Oh no! Catch Republic.
Yeah, I don't see again. They got Def Rebels. That's what I'm talking about. It goes right. That is right about my point with Ricky Saints. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, okay, we get it. We hear it. That's who it is.
We're here.
You know.
Yeah. All I gotta say about this was it was fucking awesome. I love seeing the Hardy Boys on my screen. I can't believe I'm 28 years old and I'm still watching the Hardy Boys wrestle.
Before you were born.
Yeah, they made their debut in '92.
I know. Imagine that
in WWE. Like insanity.
It's crazy. I think the biggest thing that comes from this, obviously, I would say, the TNA WWE crossover. Great. This is the latest example of it. Having both Hardy Boys back in WWE in 2025. Wild.
Massive.
Specifically Jeff, because if anybody forgot, the last time that Jeff was in WWE, he literally just left during a house show. Like he walked out.
That today.
He did? Or
no, I was listening. No, I was listening to something today and I heard it and I'm like, oh, right, that is.
Yeah.
Damn.
So like they did not end on good terms. Granted, that was with the previous regime. So things might be a little bit different. And I think Jeff is in a much better place health-wise and his sobriety, which is all great. And they did come out with a new t-shirt, which is cool. And the belief is that their contract with TNA ends like this summer or something. And everyone is saying, oh, they're probably going back to WWE, maybe as like a final run. And I'm like, normally, I mean, some of these things that you could consider are like nostalgia acts. Like I'm kind of just like, I'm over it. But like the Hardy Boys are still performing at a high level. And it's the Hardy Boys. Like one of my first loves in wrestling was Jeff Hardy. So
everybody loves Jeff Hardy.
I know, but I don't think you understand my obsession with him in like 2008 and 2009. Like, I don't think you understand.
No, I don't.
No, I cried when he won the championship. Okay. Like real tears. So, yeah. So seeing them back, I mean, I can't really be mad about it. I want to see them together back. I don't want to see singles Matt and Jeff. I want to see like, can we? A lot of people like Hardys.
A lot of people want to hear Jeff come out to No More Words.
I think they can do that though. I think that I'm not saying okay, so that's the thing. Even if you're a tag team, that doesn't mean that you can't have singles matches and still be a tag team, you know? I just would prefer that like we don't bring Matt back and he's like delete all the time. Like I don't care. And then Jeff kind of just being Jeff Hardy still. Like I don't love that. It's like if this is going to be their last run in WWE, I want to have that like feeling again of being excited about the Hardy Boys, you know?
Yeah, play the hits. That's what I think.
Yeah.
That their last run in WWE should be their greatest hits of their career and have Matt come out to, you know, the version one.
Yeah.
Like have him come out to that.
Just
Jeff
the
tornado.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Have him come out to that.
And
then
Matt
have
Fax.
Jeff come out to Matt Fax. Like have
Matt Hardy doesn't
back.
like mustard or whatever the fuck. Whatever.
Fun fact. I think he just what was it? I forgot. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, bring it back.
Remember when Matt Hardy came out with Justin Gabriel and he went on the ropes and he fell off because good times. I was watching NXT when that happened. because that was the original NXT. Yeah, he was Justin Gabriel's pro.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's talk about, is WWE LFG worth the watch? I think we're 2 episodes in at this point, or 1, I don't know. But I want to watch it. I saw a preview for it multiple times on Raw, Netflix, and NXT last night. It seems like it's something I would really enjoy. The problem is that it's on A&E. You know,
do you not have it?
No, it's not that I don't have it, but it's not like it's just on Peacock, so go find it on Peacock. It's not on Netflix or Hulu. Like, it's just not on like an app, a streaming app. It's on a cable network, which obviously I do have because YouTube TV, but it's harder to just go to. It's not as easily accessible. But the contents of what I've seen from it are very interesting.
It's basically Tough Enough.
I would love to. It is, but a little bit more in depth. And a little bit more real.
And some of them already have wrestling experience, so that's a little bit different too.
Yeah, it's like with Tough Enough, they were taking
complete
Joes, average Joes like you and I, and if they had a little bit of charisma, they sent them. You know,
and they wanted to see if they were tough enough.
Yeah, and so with this, it seems like it actually is an avenue to build up future talent for the company. Where Tough Enough, you could tell immediately it was just a game show, and they were picking their own winners throughout the contest. So I want to see that.
I haven't watched it yet. I've only seen clips, obviously. So like, I know that there's a girl on there that I don't know if she's Samoan or what she is, but people are like, she's the female Jacob Fatu. So I'm like, that's
Jesus
cool. Yeah. I think she's like, I don't know if she's a power lifter, but she's like, yeah, she's a big, strong girl. So that's pretty cool. And then I started following her because I was like, oh my God, I saw a video of her and I was like, she looks really cool. And it's Lee Laurel. Hell yeah. I'm excited about her.
Lee Laurel. All right.
Lee Laurel. Yeah, no, I love her. I saw the video of her coming out in her ring gear and stuff. And like, even the pros were like, dude, she's a star. Like, she's a star already. So I'm excited about her. And I mean, it's cool to see Mickie James involved, so that is like exciting. Seeing kind of like a different side of the Undertaker, I think, is really cool. And yeah, so like I definitely want to check it out. I just haven't yet. Like, I don't watch a lot of TV. Like, it's actually kind of bad. So
you got to get on that. You got to get on and watch more TV. I agree. Hopefully.
Yeah, we're getting rid of our cable, so I'll be strictly watching like, Hulu TV and whatever else, Netflix, Amazon Prime, that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, what the fuck, Richard?
Oh, it's David.
I know. I was quoting a Vine.
I remember. Yeah.
That sucks. That's bullshit. Now I have to download another app.
Well, that does kind of suck too, because they have quite a bit of WWE content on A&E. I mean, they have Legends and like, what is the other one?
The Rivals.
Yeah, but also the one where they go and try to find.
Oh, the warehouse one.
Yeah, that one.
It's like in collectibles or something, or
in
gems.
So that's kind of weird that they wouldn't upload. I mean, that feels like a big opportunity for them to like make money on YouTube, especially. Because. Oh, yes.
I do respect Maven and Miz, though.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. The people who like the Miz and Maven,
don't forget
those guys were Skip Sheffield, correct?
No, yes, who else came out of Tough Enough?
Michelle McCool. Wait, no, she didn't.
No.
Who the hell? Who am I?
Melina.
Melina was Tough Enough, really?
John Morrison.
I forget John.
They started dating from meeting on Tough Enough.
Yes. No, I know the story. Now
you know who else?
Joey Mercury?
No, Josh.
Josh Matthews.
Yes. I thought.
Yes, he was on Tough Enough.
I was obsessed with him because he was the small little boy. Because he was like the tiny little guy that wanted to be a wrestler, and they were like, "You're too small."
I do remember that.
But yeah. So quite a few people came out of Tough Enough. So there were some. Oh yeah, Chelsea Green was on the newer Tough Enough. So was Sonya Deville. Mandy Rose, if we want to talk about that. Velveteen Dream was also on it.
Yeah, Trina Red. That's what I'm saying. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Hulu Live is 8. I can't get another live subscription. I already
No, I
have.
know.
I'm already paying literally
know.
upwards of.
That's the
cable
thing. They're
shit.
like, all of these subscription services are going to be cheaper than having cable. Is it? Is it? No, because now you need to get like 10 different streaming services so that you can watch what you want to watch. It's the same thing with like the NFL. They're like, oh, the NFL is going to be streaming. Yeah, but now you need to have Amazon Prime. You need to have Netflix. You need to have whatever. It's like you need all of these different things just to watch a game. Now it's like that with television shows.
And then finally, to wrap up the Wrestleverse, Netflix has an appetite for WWE per Nick Khan.
Well, yeah.
Fightful reported today when Nick Khan was speaking on TKO's 2024 earnings, the earnings call. It says he was asked about the partnership, and he says, and I quote, "All we've seen from Netflix is an appetite for more WWE. They've been phenomenal to deal with. They've promoted us in a way we hoped we would be promoted, even more so than we had hoped. The appetite by Netflix to have additional ancillary programming we announced a few weeks ago. We're doing a WWE behind the scenes show with Netflix, which will come out later this year, assuming there is more cooking in the pipeline." So I'm pretty sure I mentioned this months ago, upwards of a year ago, when this deal was announced, that Netflix would be doing a lot more behind the scenes stuff with WWE, which will then eventually lead to more cinematic TV show type stuff with WWE. And it seems inevitable for this. And it's the best thing for WWE because the fans want more content. There's something about wrestling fans that is different from sports fans in general, is the obsession. They want to know more. It's something that, sports, what it takes to go out there, and play a professional sports game, whether it be football, baseball, basketball, whatever. But with WWE, there's a mystique to it that not any other organization really has. That's what keeps the fans obsessive, and little by little, creeping that door open, or even throwing a red herring and doing a TV drama based on it to get people who maybe aren't wrestling fans. But if you have a TV drama based on something wrestling, you could potentially gain a fan or 100 there.
Well,
the way their mind works.
It might be like
insane.
Reality shows and stuff might come back. Like people
That's
have been advocating for Total Divas.
Bring back another version of Total Divas, but I don't know how you do that now.
You can do Total Divas, but it gets a new name.
Obviously, it's a new name, but what's like you gonna follow the women around, or
I think people like that. I mean, look at how successful Total Divas was until like everyone started breaking up or something.
So good. It was so hot.
So
I had friends in high school telling me.
I mean,
I popped on E and Pat. I saw this WWE thing. I'm like, yep, Total Divas. I know exactly what it is. You're not gonna catch me watching it, but
but yeah. So I think that I saw something that said that WWE right now is like the 4th most streamed thing on all of Netflix already. So it's like, yeah, Netflix, of course, is going to be interested in this. I mean, other than the fact that they're paying you however many millions of dollars to have you sign for, 10 years, they're going to want to capitalize on all of the fans and all of the streaming by coming out with more stuff. And this is something that fans have been wanting basically since they got rid of the WWE network, especially in the States. Like that is the kind of stuff that they can replicate on Netflix and bring back, because people actually did like a lot of the little mini shows that they had. You remember like, I don't remember what it was called, but it was the one where
on the network.
Yeah, that it was like they followed wrestlers on their drives to shows, and it was like in their car. People loved that.
I love that show. That was great.
Yeah.
I want them to do more of the countdown type shows, like top 10.
Yeah. But that's cool. The thing, they can do that, but like have it be more like have it be more expansive than only trying to like put it into a 10-minute YouTube video. Like they could bring it out to like a half hour, but have like more explanation or firsthand accounts of what they're talking about, the match or the moment or whatever, and people would eat that up.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Those OG WWE Network shows were the best. I remember when I didn't want to do my homework in high school because we all had iPads instead of textbooks. I had the WWE Network on there, and I would just watch hours upon hours of the WWE Countdown, the WrestleMania Rewind, where they talk about a match and the build up to it, and then they show you the match in its somewhat of entirety. I mean,
Yeah.
and then they talk about it afterwards. Like shit like that's awesome that's a really fascinating for the wrestling fans. Very interesting.
Well, you can never get too much of the stuff of like behind the scenes. That's the thing that I think that is what intrigues wrestling fans a lot, because you don't have to go so far behind the curtain, where we are crossing the line of like, okay, we don't need to know that much, because that's already where people think that we are too far. Like fans know too much already. But kind of like what they do on their YouTube channel too, where they have wrestlers watch an infamous match of theirs. Like that kind of show would be killer on Netflix too. Because they can monetize that more. And that is the kind of stuff where, like with especially old school stuff, when Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall watch their ladder match from Mania, and it's like that stuff is what we want to hear. That's what people want. So they should capitalize on that kind of stuff.
Like, could you imagine CM Punk and John Cena sitting down on Netflix to watch their 2011 Money in the Bank match?
They could make a whole
that could be
like a series, like revisiting the Summer of Punk, like and them talking about all of these different moments, like that could literally be like 3 episodes. And people would want it. You could talk about Roman Reigns, incredible almost 4-year title reign, and talk about like the huge moments and the milestones and stuff. As long as he would actually like talk about anything,
he would. He's
Roman. I'm saying beyond Roman Reigns, like you want to hear the real stuff, that kind of stuff. Like that would be cool. Even a Paul Heyman and CM Punk thing, talking about their partnership and whatever. Like that's the kind of stuff that people want to hear, because you don't get to really ever. So
you don't.
Yeah, I'd be into it.
Dylan, we did talk about Stephanie and Julia with their injury.
We did. Yeah.
That's why we cut clips, though.
Yeah.
That's why we cut clips, because you get to see that when we do on the YouTube channel. That's why you got to subscribe and hit that bell button to be notified every time we go live. And now it's time for the 1, 2, 3 count quick. Sarah, rapid fire here. I want you to pull up a Elimination Chamber 2010.
All right.
I want to prove a point to the peeps here in the chat, because we did this off camera with SummerSlam in their cards.
Oh, that's like
complaining. Everyone's complaining about the build up to Mania, and how it's so bad and there's no star power. Well, Sarah, can you read off the match card here? Because we need to inform these peeps.
All right. So the dark match was Christian versus Ezekiel Jackson. First of all. Yeah. And then they had a Raw Elimination Chamber match and a SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. So the first one was the Raw Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship, which was John Cena versus Triple H versus Sheamus versus Kofi Kingston versus Ted DiBiase versus Randy Orton. First of all, where the is Cody Rhodes?
I just recently watched this match. He helped Ted inadvertently eliminate Randy Orton.
Well, still, why wasn't he in this match? John Cena won, beating Sheamus for the WWE Championship. Then Batista, did he cash in, or he had a match? He had a singles match with, he cashed in, I think.
There was some bullshit. And now it's the other thing. It wasn't cash in Money in the Bank. It was Batista just going to Vince McMahon, and after the match, Cena had to face him. So
he defeated John Cena.
Like, imagine The Rock came out and was like, no, we got one more person for it. And it was whoever he.
And it was a 32-second match.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, do you want to see that again, guys? No.
Drew McIntyre defeated Kane to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Banger, clearly. Lay Cool defeated Gail Kim and Maurice, just a women's tag for nothing.
Those are stars, though. That's stars.
Yeah,
So
yes.
that's the best of the women's division.
The Miz with Big Show.
The Miz Show.
Yeah, he defeated MVP with Mark Henry to retain the U.S. Championship. Yeah, and then the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship was the main event, and it was Chris Jericho versus The Undertaker versus John Morrison, Rey Mysterio, and CM Punk and R-Truth. And Chris Jericho won to take the title off of The Undertaker. Now, if you listen to this, what is the Mania card?
You know? It was.
I'm saying
Jericho
no.
won.
What I'm saying is like that doesn't sound exciting. Is what I'm saying.
Jericho Edge, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Batista,
well,
Cena.
So that's okay. So, but you're proving the point, basically.
I'm proving my point that the star power is in the Elimination Chamber. Like,
yeah,
you have
and
to
that
wait
it
until
still
the Elimination Chamber.
It can still lead to a good Mania.
Correct. Everyone's complaining about the buildup, and it's like, be patient. Some of the buildup that we've seen in the past may have not been the best, and you're like, oh, it's just another Mania. But look what it's got us after. You know, Shawn Michaels interfered in the Elimination Chamber so that Jericho could win by super kicking the Undertaker, and that got us the career versus streak. You know, you have Batista doing this bullshit with John Cena, which, yeah, it shouldn't have happened. I think there's a better way to do it. That match could have just been done at Mania. You know, Batista could have just won, but it set up them to at Mania, which is a Mania match. You have also Sheamus and Triple H face off of that Mania. You have Legacy in a triple threat match of that Mania. And it all stemmed from just like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be one way. I think The Undertaker's going to win this match. Or, oh, Triple H going to win again. And like, it's just like, you don't know. You never know. So look what you get. We're going to skip for Elimination Chamber trivia because we are low on time. And the trivia, I will ask you, Sarah. There's one man who's competed in 2 Elimination Chambers in one night. Who is it? One man who's competed in 2 Elimination Chambers in one night. Who is it?
John Cena.
No, I'll give you a hint. I have mentioned his name.
Triple H.
Nope.
Batista.
He goes by another name now, and it's not as sexy as his old one.
Oh, Shawn Michaels.
No.
Oh. I don't know.
Cope. Edge.
Ew.
Edge
Ew.
And to wrap it off, because we are ending WWE 2K24, I ended the Bad Gal season yesterday, Sarah.
Oh, man.
Boy, howdy, what a ride it went on. So, you won the WWE Championship.
Heck yeah.
At TBD in the indie promotion that you helped create. You won it there because you and Bianca did a best of 3 around the world. First match was in London. Second one was in Japan. Third one was in TBD. In the TBD rules, which is Falls Count Anywhere, all that stuff. Then your best friend Geneva turned on you.
Rude.
Because she showed a napkin of, I can't really read the virtual writing, but pretty much it said that I would be a TBD for lifer because you 2 started the company, all this stuff. And she used that as a legal binding document to keep you contracted to TBD. Oh. So she put you through the ringer in TBD. You have to go through all these jobbers. And then you even fight your good pal Psycho Sally in a TBD rules match. And she threw you off the TBD sign to win. Like 20 feet high.
Wow.
Yeah, she threw you off that through a table. And it got to the point where Psycho Sally was like, you 2 need to figure it out on your own. All right. So then you fight Geneva after the crowd leaves. You guys have your own little match. And I don't know if you win because it's a cutscene. It was one of those with like the cutscene and Geneva and you apologize. You mend fences. And they plan for you to be Becky's opponent at WrestleMania because the time you were gone, Becky Lynch won the Women's World Championship and was on a hot streak. And she needed an opponent for WrestleMania. So Sir William Regal called in a favor, and you came back to WWE and returned at WrestleMania in your TBD shirt. So TBD made an appearance at WrestleMania. You hit Becky with the AO twice.
Wow.
And then you won the WWE Women's Championship. Sarah, I'm so happy for you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
your service. Great job this season as the bad gal. It was a lot of fun to play. I'm not going to lie. You were great.
I'm just a
and I
bad gal. So
You're just a bad gal. I don't know. And here's the thing. I don't know if the bad gal returns in my Rise mode in 2K25 because we might have to implement our own character. I might have to step in the ring now. But I'll tell you this. The bad gal is definitely coming to universe mode because that's got to happen. We got to do some shit with 2K because that community date was today. And the clips I saw were awesome. So that's all we got. That's all we got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Super Show, No Nights Off Super Show. I don't know if we're back on this weekend because we have Elimination Chamber on Saturday.
Depends on what happens. Depends on what happens.
Depends on what happens.
Maybe Sunday.
Maybe Sunday. I'll be watching it down here. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm excited and hope you are too. So follow us on all social media platforms down below and follow TikTok No Nights Off Show as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. God bless. Remember, you can do it. All you can do is try. See you next time. Peace.